They come from all across the Army. 64 participants, 32 teams, all with one goal in mind: to become best medic. The first day of the competition is designed to test the fitness level of all 32 teams. First, with a fitness test involving squats and bench press to get their muscles right.
We did a train-up for the division itself. We had a division competition, obviously, and me and him being the two winners out of it. But we had a month and a half, 2-month train-up up until this point.
I decided to do this competition because I wanted to motivate my soldiers, let them know that even though I'm up in the ranks, I'm not scared to compete. I'm not scared to accept challenges and demonstrate what they can be in the future.
Followed by Army-style push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups.
I'm gonna win.
Next, teams would have to team carry a 5-gallon can of water 1 mile up, while still preserving enough energy to make it through the night. The final event of the night is the Combat Water Survival Test, a test of diving and floating for the participants. Some, like Sergeant Lucendo of 1st Cavalry Division, believed it was their toughest event.
Swimming was one of my weakest points, but not having the comforts of being back in the rear or going home. But it's pretty much, we trained for it, we're prepared for it mentally, so we should be okay.
The swim test, I'm not a very good swimmer, but he is a very good swimmer, and he taught me a lot of how to do swimming.
After the combat water skills, the teams regroup as they get ready for a grueling day 2.
You got extra time.
Day 2 began in the wee hours of the morning as soldiers tested their knot tying abilities. Each soldier must demonstrate proficiency on how to properly tie a knot, something that is done as part of their field training exercises. This event will begin a grueling stretch of 48 consecutive hours. Many of the participants believe that during the next 2 days could be the toughest part of the competition.
For today's exercise, it started off with a World War II style briefing by a World War II commander and a first sergeant. They were given their brief in a Volco format only, in which they had to actually write down the op order itself, untraditional of today's op orders where you're actually given a piece of paper with all the particulars in it. They were also exposed to period World War II Nazis and shown those individuals of the op 4 that they're going to experience while out there on the lanes itself for today's events.
The meat of the competition begins with Phase 1, a test of events that includes E&E lanes, helicopter rescue, and treatment.
I'm just love doing this kind of stuff, being out in the woods and shooting, moving, communicating, working medicine with my medics. It's fantastic and fairly competitive, so when the opportunity arose, had to take it.
Tactical field care areas.
Yeah, start with me.
Color condition. Way.
I believe there's no second place in medicine. You know, it's either your patient lives or your patient dies. So you need to be the best at everything. It comes physically. You got to be the best at your medicine. You know, and again with my soldiers, you know, I can't tell them to go out in here and do this stuff. I can't push them to go to EFMB. I can't push them to go to these other schools if I'm not out here doing it myself. You know.
Following these events, the teams prepared themselves for orienteering, an event that tests their land navigational skills. The participants of this event will also execute a 9-line medevac while assessing and treating heat and spinal injuries, as well as treating an allergic reaction.
Numb in my back and legs.
Okay, your legs are numb? Okay. I want you to wiggle your toes for me. Can you wiggle your anything?
Last night at dinner time,
Okay, you can keep your hands on your chest, so I'm not gonna tighten you down.
it's pretty good competition to go through. It's something not everybody gets a chance to do it. So I'm hoping to get this experience, learn from it, teach my soldiers too from what I learned from this experience.
As teams prepare to head into the twilight of the day, they begin the most competitive event of the competition in force on force. The teams start by retrieving an injured soldier and giving him treatment, while at the same time receiving and sending live fire downrange. This event is so intense, even one of our cameramen was caught in the intensity.
Don't shoot the cameraman, don't shoot the cameraman.
All of the drama and chaos of Force on Force leads us straight into day 3. Day 3 begins as the teams regroup to start the buddy run. Commencing in the wee hours of the morning, the teams, who are both mentally and physically exhausted, muster up the energy to journey on the path. At the end of the buddy run, the 32 teams start treatment in support of a raid. Each team will take a fallen soldier and treat him while a raid is going on just ahead of them. This event is one of the longer events throughout the competition, as the duration could last until the last team finishes, about 12 hours later.
Our competitors are going to be led into their lane by one of our role players. They're going to have to establish a CCP, a casualty collection point. They're going to get 2 waves of casualties. They're going to have to triage them into their correct categories, treat all of the life threats, and then make an evac decision.
Just get on somebody and start doing your HABCs. All right. Doing my blood sweep. Just check a pulse. You have a pulse. All right. Pulse. Rapid. Got it.
Right after they complete the treatment lane, they'll go straight to vertical extraction, where teams must pull a fallen comrade to safety up a multiple-story building, using teamwork to bring the soldier up many flights of stairs to the top of the roof. For the final events of the day, the teams will then compete in the 2 events that define the combat medic, Level 2 trauma, as well as warrior tasks and battle drills. These 2 events are the spotlight of the competition, as it tests the participants' skills in healing a trauma wound, as well as basic soldiering skills that they learn through basic, AIT, and then reinforced in their units.
At this time, and they will bring them in Trauma Bay 1.
The teams will now get a well-deserved rest for the 4th and final day of competition. And while not as grueling as the past 2 days, still very critical in the process of naming the 2016 Jack L. Clark Best Medic. After a bit of replenishment and rest, the teams pack up their rucksack and get ready for an event that many in the past have dropped out and couldn't finish. A basic 12-mile ruck march that will test some of whatever energy the participants have left. Each team will pack 35 pounds into their rucks and march a total of 12 miles through the hills of Camp Bullis. For most participants, this will be a 3-hour journey that, upon surviving, will lead them into their next mission. The stress chute is designed to challenge soldiers to shoot, move, communicate, and medicate. The teams will use 3 weapons during this event: the M9, M4 rifle, and the M500 shotgun.
Shot by enemy fire, your mission will be completed. Once you have
This is the first of 2 events on the final day using live fire, as teams head to the range and compete in the rifle skills competition. During this time, all competitors will zero their weapons prior to the qualification. The competition consists of 3 stages. The first being a prone-supported stage, where competitors will have 20 rounds to shoot. Stage 2 is an unsupported prone stage, where 10 rounds are fired, and the third is a 10-round kneeling. Without question, the rifle skills competition is one of the most competitive in the event, and one that most soldiers enjoy. Surviving skills has been part of the Army since the beginning. Now, with the mystery event, these skills have been given a test. During this phase, each team will have to cook a fish and eat it. Also cut a cactus for its nutrients and eat that as well. There are several dangers during this event: making sure that the fish is cooked properly, as well as making sure that there isn't any injury with the cactus. This is also giving soldiers time to replenish what they have lost within the past 4 days. A relief for some, as it has been a draining competition. The obstacle course is the final event of the mission. After a long week, competitors will muster whatever energy is left to get through the course. This timed event gives the teams extra motivation to pad on the points that they think they may need to win the competition. The course has 20 obstacles for each team to get through. The team with the fastest time will receive the 20 points needed to boost their score. At the end of the obstacle course, the sun has set on this year's Best Medic. The mission now is complete. The participants can finally rest up and see the fruits of their labor during the award ceremony the following day, and see who becomes the new Best Medic.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2016 Command Sergeant Major Jack L. Clark Jr. Army Best Medic Competition Awards Ceremony.
We're phenomenal young officers, non-commissioned officers that are incredibly motivated and incredibly motivating to be around. They're role models, they're mentors, they're competitors, and they're medics.
Well, we made people think out here. We made people think fast. We made them do things they've never done before. So we made them have to learn fast. So that's how we're trying to build this competition, is bring them here, give them a little bit of intel so they know what kind of sort of what they're going to get, and then present them challenges where we teach them something, but they have to master and command the information and knowledge right away in order to do well out there in the competition.
The team coming in third in the 2016 Command Sergeant Major Jack L. Clark Jr. United States Army Best Medic Competition is the team from the 2nd Infantry Division, Captain Jeremiah Beck and Sergeant C. Young Lee. Second place team is consisting of the team from the 10th Mountain Division, Sergeant Jared Sheets and Sergeant Matthew Evans.
You know, there's a lot of things that were in this competition that we've probably never really done before, like learning how to push whole blood and stuff like that. So a lot of things like that, when you placed in a competition like this and, you're tasked out to do things you don't normally do, and, they teach you how to do them. So those things is what I know I'm going to take back and teach the younger soldiers, and hopefully they'll pass that on and they'll pass it on. It just continues down the chain.
I think what I'll bring back most is not only the training value we got out of this, we'll be able to have something new to train soldiers that's a little more exciting than your standard care under fire and your tactical field care. We'll be able to go over evac and random soldier skills and whatnot.
The team that has earned the right to have the title of the 2016 Command Sergeant Major Jack L. Clark Jr. United States Army Best Medic is the team from USASOC, Sergeant Noah Mitchell and Sergeant Derek Bowlesley.
It's definitely a sense of accomplishment. At times we can go through things that we don't feel are real actual challenges to us, and it takes away from that sense of accomplishment. But I think in this case, I was, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised by the difficulty of the competition and by the strength of our opponents. And so both of those factors allowed for a lot more satisfaction and feeling of accomplishment at the end of the day. So I absolutely feel good.
There's a lot of things I've done in the Army where it gets built up, but in the end it doesn't feel as big as what it was, and this was definitely not one of those things. I actually feel proud to call myself the best medic in the Army.
64 participants, 32 teams. Combat medics Army-wide come together annually to find out who is the best of the best. For one team, the mission was successful. For others, it's another year to regroup and return. Next year, the stakes will be high to find out who is the best medic.